In this lecture, we will try to understand a very important concept in Java programming language, that is checkbox. Checkboxes are used to select between two options. What is the purpose of checkboxes? They are used to select between two options. We will try to understand this with the help of simple Java program. Checkboxes are two state buttons. I can say basically they are two state buttons. Two state buttons that can be either, what are the two states? That can be either on state or that can be off state. What is on state? On state means selected. Selected means what? Selected means true, isn't it? What is off state? Off state means deselected. Deselected. Off state means deselected, or I can say false. When a user clicks a checkbox, the checkbox state changes. When user clicks. When a user clicks a checkbox, let me repeat. When a user clicks a checkbox, the checkbox state changes. The checkbox state changes. How many states are there for checkbox? As I told you, there are two states. One is on state and another one is off states. When a user clicks checkbox, the checkbox state changes and it generates an item event. It generates an item event. We will try to understand how it works with the help of simple Java program. When the user selects checkbox, it returns true. When user selects checkbox, if you select checkbox, what will it return? It will return true, isn't it? It returns true to the system. If you deselect, what happens? It return false. As I told you, how many states are there? There are two states. Checkbox is accompanied with label. That you must understand. This is checkbox. This is corresponding label. This is checkbox. This is label. This is checkbox. This is label. Checkbox is accompanied with a label. Otherwise, let me write. Checkbox is accompanied with label. Isn't it? Checkbox is accompanied with label, indicating for what the checkbox is meant. We will try to understand checkbox with the help of simple program. There is one state related to checkbox, that is get state. There is a method. I can say it's not state. This is a method, get state method. What is the use of get state method? It returns the state. It returns the state. Returns the state of the checkbox. State of the checkbox as a Boolean value. It returns the state of the checkbox. How many states are there? There are two states, either on state or off state. We will try to understand this one with the simple Java program. This one, actually I am keeping checkbox on Applet window. I am keeping checkbox on Applet window. If you want, you can keep checkbox on frame also. We discussed how to keep label on a frame. In similar manner, you can keep checkbox on frame. Just see, this one is simple and straightforward. What it says, applet, we know what is applet is a tag, code is an property whose value is checkbox demo. This is my class name. Applet width window applet window width 300, height is 200. Public class checkbox demo, this is class name, extends to applet. This is super class. This is implements, means what? In interface. It's an interface. We are implementing item listener interface. String MSG, I am keeping an empty message. As I told you, this is my predefined class. It is defined in AWT. AWT means abstract window toolkit. I am creating an array. Just see, class name space object name new class name. How many checkboxes? Array. I am creating array of checkboxes. What are they? C of 0, C of 1. 4 means what? Array size 4 means C of 0, C of 1, C of 2, C of 3. 4 means C0, C1, C2, C3. Means I will create 4 checkboxes. Just see, public void init. This is applet. We discussed in applet there is a method, init method. Just try to recall init method in applet life cycle which we discussed. What is my first checkbox? I am keeping label. This is label. Just see, this one is label. Windows 98 by XP is label of my checkbox, and I am keeping the state as true, isn't it? Well, this Windows 98 by XP is true. What about C1? Another checkbox whose label. This is label of my checkbox. What is the label of my checkbox? Windows NT by 2000. I am keeping the state as false. Of course, after executing program, you can change the states. C2, another checkbox whose name is Solaris and whose state is true. In similar manner, another checkbox whose name is Mac OS, I am keeping its state as true. How many checkboxes I have here? I have 4 checkboxes. Now, what I can do? I can add these checkboxes to where? Where can I add? I can add these checkboxes to applet window. How can I add? It is simple and straightforward. I equal to 0, 0 less than 4. Add C of I. C of I means what? Add C of 0. I am adding first checkbox and C of 0 dot add item listener. Add item listener means I am implementing listener for this particular checkbox, isn't it? The next I plus plus means I equal to 1, 1 less than 4, correct? Add C of 1. Add C of 1 means I am adding C of 1. C of 1 is Windows NT labeled checkbox. I am adding this particular checkbox to my applet window. For that one also I am adding this item listener. In that manner, how many checkboxes can I add to an applet window? I equal 0 to I equal 3 means C0 applet C0, C1, C2, C3. These many checkboxes, 1, 2, 3, 4 checkboxes can be added to an applet window. Not only we are adding that 4 checkboxes, we are implementing add item listeners for all these checkboxes. This is public void item state change, item event AE. Just I am calling repaint method. I already discussed what is paint method in my previous classes. In similar manner, there is a method known as repaint method. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of repaint method? The repaint method is an asynchronous method of applet class. What is repaint method? It is asynchronous. I will discuss about this method. Time being, just understand it is asynchronous method. Asynchronous method of applet class. Method of an applet class. I will discuss differences between paint and repaint method in my future classes. Time being, just understand the repaint method is an asynchronous method of applet class. When call to repaint method is made, it performs a request to erase and perform redraw of the component after a small delay in time. You need not worry about this particular method. As I told you, I will discuss about this method in detailed manner in my future classes. Public void paint. What public void paint? What it says? Just see current state. I am keeping message. In message, what am I keeping? Current state. Windows 98 by XP, isn't it? What is this C of 0? C of 0 dot get state. How many checkboxes we have? C of 0, C of 1, C of 2, C of 3. 4 checkboxes. C of 0 dot get state means how many states are there? There are 2 states, either on state or off state. I will get the state of that particular checkbox. C of 0 is associated with Windows 98 by XP. Just see in previous. Just see C of 0 is what's the label of my C of 0? Windows 98 by XP. Just I am trying to get the state of that particular checkbox. C of 1 dot get state. C of 2 dot get state. I already discussed get state returns the state of the checkbox as a boolean value. As a boolean value means either it will return true, or this get state will return true or false. If it is selected, if this particular checkbox is selected, it returns true. Otherwise, it will return false. Just see, if you observe carefully in output, what it says. Just see, this one is an applet program. Windows 98 by XP. This is label. This is selected. This mark means selected. Windows NT by 2000 not selected. But Solaris selected. Mac OS selected. Why these 98 by XP, Solaris, Mac OS are selected? Why? Because we kept true for them. Just see, we kept true for them. Just see, Windows 98X by true, Solaris true, Mac OS true. That's why they are get selected. Whereas Windows NT by 2000 deselected. Why? Because we kept it as false. Of course, after executing program, you can change these options if you want. Current state, Windows 98 by XP. You are getting true. Why are you getting this one as true? Why? Because Windows 98 get state. Get state means what? It returns. If it is selected, it returns true. Otherwise, it will return false. Just see, Windows NT by 2000 false, Solaris true, Mac OS is true. It is simple and straightforward. Let me demonstrate this program. Just what is my program name? My program name, I think it is checkboxdemo.java. How can I compile that program? JAVAC space checkboxdemo.java. How can I run this program? As it is an applet program, applet viewer checkboxdemo.java. Just see this output, what it says. 98 by XP is selected, NT by 2000 not selected. Of course, if you, what it says, current state, this one. If you want, you can change this one. Just see, I deselected Windows 98 by XP. Therefore, you are getting false here. Let me deselect Solaris. Yes, you are getting Solaris false. Let me deselect Mac OS, isn't it? All are false. If you select Solaris, as I am selecting Solaris, that's why it's getting reflected true. There is a method, as I told you, there is a method, get state method, returns the state of the checkbox. Either it will return true or false. Just go through this lecture. If you have any difficulty, please keep a comment. Actually, just make an experiment by changing the states. Actually, here I am keeping true, false, false. If you don't keep any option, what happens? You can make different experiments. Just go through this lecture. It is simple and straightforward. Thank you very much.